It's Sunday, and we're going to find out whether the motorhome was an absolute disaster or whether actually it worked out quite well. And we're going to be looking at the 5 things that I sort of fitted that were amazing. And one of them is the Wi-Fi. So I'd asked a couple of weeks ago about what Wi-Fi to go for, and basically I went for Starlink, and I'm going to show you now in the video when it comes up why I went for Starlink, how good the Starlink is, and how it works, what it does, how it's fitted to the roof, and go into a little bit more detail on it because it's really, really good. So finally made a decision on the internet and what to go for, and went for the Starlink. So just got the Starlink set up and checking how many watts it's using. So Starlink fitted to the roof of the horse lorry. Now, as I say, it's running about 100 watts of power. I've just got to tidy up the cable, got a little fitting going through the roof, and then that's powering the Starlink, and that's all that it is, literally just that little unit there on the roof. Doesn't take up much space at all, and we've just mounted it completely flat. So cruising along on the motorway, not going very quick in a big 7.5 ton lorry. As we're travelling along now, we've got our Bluetti on, so that's now showing us what the solar panels, even as we're driving along, solar panels are producing the power. We've got the fridge running on the mains electric as we're running along, so that's just running through the Bluetti. And then we've got our Starlink up on the roof, so the Starlink internet is running along on the roof, and that is giving us our internet on the move. And so far so good. Should do a little speed test, and that'll show us what we're actually getting right at this very moment in time. And then some weird little sort of gadgets and things that are fitted onto the motorhome. Some that you can't really put onto a caravan, but if you're doing a camper build or anything, that they're really, really worth looking at. So keep on watching. We're going to have a look through a few new vans that have come in that we didn't look in, or we haven't looked in properly. So we've got a Swift Challenger 560. Now Isabel's videoing me, so I'm trying not to be saying anything that I shouldn't say. It's different when your wife's videoing, you can say anything that you want, but when it's Isabel videoing, I've got to be careful. So I've put my filter on, so I'm going to try my best. So I'm going to try to not say anything that I shouldn't say. So lovely Swift Challenger 560. I had somebody today actually saying about these little end caps. So again, obviously we're going to have some tips along the way. So basically these little end caps are what will hold your blinds down. So if your blinds aren't staying down, it's basically these little end caps have come out, and you don't need to remove the blind to fit these, but they do come in a pair. So you've got a left-handed and a right-handed one. But basically if you, I sound like Jason the motorhome man, but don't know, basically this, basically that, that's all he basically says. Sorry Jason. So the end caps just push in, they are left and right, and then you can twist it like that and then they'll fit in properly. So that's our first little tip. We're going to be having a look at Aldi central heating, because I'm going to show you how to reset the Aldi panel, because again sometimes if you've played with the settings and you've got the timers wrong and this, that and the other, and it's not going to work. So we're going to have a look at resetting that. So Isabel, remind me, because I want to get carried away on this video, I can feel it. Okay. So nice van. If you want to have a quick little tour around, you're used to doing your little tour rounds, aren't you?
Everyone loves the tours.
Yeah, you like so again, if you've not seen Isabel's tours, this is what we should call it, Isabel's tours. Isabel's tours. Isabel's tours. We've renamed a little thing for YouTube videos and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. So if you've not subscribed to those, have a look what Isabel's doing, because she gets up to some crazy things. So have a look at those. So that Isabel's tours, I like that. I like that. New different layout. So we'd had a couple of dealers saying it had been quiet on Friday's video. If you missed Friday's video, that's popping up now. And we had a look at the auction. I've not done an auction one like that, so we're going to probably get into trouble for doing that. But hey ho, it shows you what prices have been doing. And again, in a couple of weeks time, we're going to look at whether all those sold or not. So if you've missed that Friday's video, go and have a look at it now. We're going to have a look at a few more. So that's the Swift Challenger 580. It's a 2016. It's got a motor mover. I've got to remember to say all this while I'm thinking about all the other things that I need to say. It's 1510 maximum, so that's your maximum weight that you can load it up to. It is 15995. That seems like a good little price van to me. 2021 Sprite Major 4 EB, so this has got the end bed, so we'll have a look in here. Are you alright to jump up into there? Oh, look at that,
yeah.
Easy. So when I sort of bought this, I wasn't sure about the upholstery, but the more that I've looked at it, the more that I like it. And it's like
I think it's quite nice.
It's quite nice, isn't it? Yeah, I wasn't sure. It's like an Alcantara sort of suede sort of look. So yeah, I wasn't sure. It looked a bit Marmite on pictures. It looked sort of like, I don't know whether I'm gonna like that or not. But yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. So let's put a little backsplash on. So yeah, one of those, whether you like it or not, it's been done unfortunately. But again, really good price, 17995 for this 2021. And Isabel's going to go on a tour again, and she's going to tour around. She's going to wave in the mirror and say hello. And got a nice separate shower and toilet. So again, that washroom in the middle is what is everybody's favourite thing. Don't trip over the carpet.
Oh no, I walked into the door.
Oh, that's even worse.
Into the door.
So watch the door, watch the door, watch the door. So a nice one. We've got another one of similar layout to this coming through, which is a special edition, so that's coming. And then we've got a nice big Coachman Laser 665, I think, which has got single beds. We've had another single bed van coming in. So hopefully by Sunday, the couple would have picked up their van, and we've got a nice Aldis with single beds in. I'll try to see whether we can fit that in or not. I might not be able to. The Adria, we looked in this on Friday, and I need to look at it again because I like it.
I like the elegance. It's got fur pillows in it.
Has it?
Yeah.
I've not looked in that yet. I know which fur pillows you mean. We'll have a look at your fur pillows in a minute. That sounded completely wrong, didn't it? So this is what I was saying earlier. So 613 Adria Adora Isonza 16995. 2017, 1800 maximum, so it's 8 foot wide this is, so it's a big van. But again, Isabel's going to go on a tour around this again. So we've got a nice big fridge, freezer, all of our oven, hob grill, nice big kitchen area, nice side island bed, huge, absolutely massive. Look at the wardrobe on that. So we've got the Aldi Central heating. I don't think we've got a batch on this, but I'm going to have a look. If I could reset the Aldi Central heating on this one, it's sort of what I was looking to do on this video. Pressing all buttons.
You've even got a mirror in the shower.
Is there? What do you need that for?
Look.
Oh!
You've got a mirror.
Nice.
In the shower.
Nice. Nicely. I like the Adrias. They're always
nice.
Finished off nicely. That 8 foot wide makes such a big difference, but a hell of a big van on a single axle. So again, 8.23 metres from very front to very back, so it's not twin axle, but blimey, it feels like a good size, doesn't it, to be fair. For a single axle, it is a big van, and 1800 kilos. And again, if you're going to sight the van, I don't know whether the Starlink internet really works. We're going to have a look at your pillows.
Yeah.
We're going to have a look at your pillows. I'm trying not to like make this sound completely weird. Like I say, it's alright when it's your wife behind the camera, but so I'm trying to watch what I say. Oh, they're nice. Oh,
Can you see them?
I like them. They're lovely.
No.
So yeah, they're pretty cool. They were the original pillows as well, actually.
Didn't
I think. Let me know in the comments if you've got an Elegance 580 2018. Let me know if you had pillows like that. Let me know in the comments. So again, another really nice van, but obviously Starlink I don't think really works if you are sighting the Caravan, and the reason is it is expensive, but it's not expensive. So the actual Starlink Mini dish that I'd fitted onto the lorry, I think it was about £399 for the actual Starlink Mini, and that is everything. You don't need anything else. You literally plug it in. If you want a 12 volt connector, you have to buy a different cable, and that can then connect up to the 12 volts. Luckily, because I've got the Bluetti on the lorry, which again I'll sort of cover quickly with all the gadgets that we've fitted onto that, I can plug that into the 230 and it can run through the inverter, so it runs completely off grid, and it uses about 50 watts of power. So even when we're driving along in the lorry, that is working. And I've gone for a plan on that is just gives us plenty. I think we've actually gone for the unlimited, but I can turn that plan on and off as we're using it, and then if I want to drop it down to a lower plan if we're not using as many gigabytes, I can do. So it's quite flexible. But if you're sighting the Caravan and you're in a static position and you're not moving, probably a 3G or a 4G or a 5G router is going to be better and be cheaper. But if you're touring around a lot more, the Starlink is very, very good. So we're going to go and have a look at the lorry build and my 5 top things that are fitted to the lorry that have been really, really good. So, big disaster, or did it turn out all right? Well, actually, I've got to say, everything went pretty smooth. It all worked out. Sometimes you have these ideas and you plan it and do this and put this there and you think that that's going to work, and then actually when you come to use it, it doesn't work. But actually everything worked really well. We had a little bit of a water leak, which was a quick fix, and it comes back to that thing of until you actually use it, you're not going to find things out. So that's sorted. Now, few things that were fitted on this lorry build that were really, really good. Something that if you're thinking about doing a build yourself, that I would recommend fitting. First one, diesel heater. So the diesel heater was really, really good. It's plumbed into the main diesel tank, so we don't need any other separate tanks or anything like that, and it worked fantastically. The second thing is a boiling water tap. So this tap gives you instant hot water, boiling hot water, so it basically replaces the kettle. So we don't need anywhere for a kettle. We might potentially still put a coffee machine in at some point, but in actual fact we don't need anything really with the boiling hot water tap. It gives us filtered water, so just underneath in this cupboard here we've got the water filter, so it filters the water when we want to use the water for drinking. It boils the water, so that pretty much stays on, and the Bluetti will run that with the 3 kilowatt battery, the solar panels. That can stay on pretty much all of the time. The fridge can run, and that works really, really well. That is something that I don't know, could that be fitted in Caravans? It's something that is very, very good. It removes the need for a kettle. It does use sort of 1.8 kilowatts of power when it's boiling up, but then sort of probably every 3 hours it kicks in for 5 minutes. So it doesn't use much electric at all. So something that I've not seen on many other builds. It was just something that I thought was a good thing to actually fit. The next thing, which was I'd been doing I'd been asking people in the comments on the one video, what internet should we go for, and my concern was that I'd end up with 20 different SIM cards, and I'd be swapping SIM cards around and mucking about, and everything that I sort of looked at and looked into, it was Starlink. Starlink was the thing that we sort of kept coming back to. It was expensive, but it was worth it, and that's what we've gone for, is Starlink. And then just from a usability point of view, we've got a good sized kitchen. We've got a really good sized kitchen, but what we actually sort of realised was when we get to horse show, and it's not your normal camping, it's not your normal sort of campsites that we go to, it's normally a horse show, but when we get to a horse show, horses are out of this back, and we've got 10-foot area that's just completely wasted. So my slight modification for next time is we've got a big sort of camping table. It's a 1.8 metre by 75, and I'm going to set that up in the back here. Potentially, obviously, once we swap our seating area properly, This can go into the back. We could put some more power sockets into the back, put a TV set up. So our little one has actually got her own little sort of seating area. So when she has friends come round and they're all mucking about and all the rest of it, they can go in the back. They don't destroy the front nice area. And we can then have a nice big kitchen area, separate sort of kitchen area, because even though I've got some nice cooking facilities, we use the oven a few times and work really, really well. But I didn't want to get a mess everywhere and I didn't want it to smell. So actually putting a bit of a kitchen area, putting a teppanyaki grill sort of thing like that there into the back section makes loads of sense. Got a pizza oven, so we can put that in there. And also the thing that I found with the pizza oven, on the first night we made pizzas and it was so windy that even sort of I'd made a little covered area, it was still sort of affecting the flame and taking a little bit of time to get up to 450 degrees on the pizza stone, because it's a proper little pizza oven. So it takes a bit of time and the wind affects that. So actually moving the cooking area into the back section makes loads of sense. I can still open all the windows, so I've got loads of ventilation. I can put the roof fan on. So in the roof we've got a roof fan, so I can put that on if required. But actually with all the windows open, I don't think I need to. So that's a little modification I think for next time, again, because the next time I'm going away for even longer. Something else that was really, 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 really good is I put a 500 litre water tank on this. So literally when we get onto site, it takes about 15-20 minutes, even maybe a bit longer than that, to fill that water tank up. But that gave us 5 days of water without having to worry, which meant we could run as much hot water as we wanted. Obviously we've only got 10 litres of hot water supply, so it took about 15-20 minutes to reheat that water on the Truma boiler. But actually that little shower unit there, we could have a proper shower, leave it 15-20 minutes, next person have a proper shower, and we're not sort of worrying about actually running out of water and using too much water. So a big water supply was my next tip, and something that I would recommend if you're going to do any sort of build. Big water supply, boiling hot water tap, Starlink internet, and then maybe a separate kitchen area to use for your cooking, which has got more prep space, and then you can keep the nice sort of living area nice, clean and tidy. You can see still got more things to do, so I've got more kitchen units, so top cupboard units are here now, so they can go up and start building the seating area. We can start getting that upholstery done. We can have all the front reupholstered, and I can finish the sleeper pod. And I am pretty happy with how it's all turned out, in all honesty. So yeah, good. Now, the boiling water tap is a game changer. That is phenomenal, but it's not really something that you can fit into your caravan. Unless you've got a big space, and then you keep all the pipe work and everything, you can pipe it in. I've piped that in off 2 12mm fittings, but you do need a big bit of cupboard space underneath for all the fittings. So I'm not one for going into a caravan and changing things like that, but that's quite easy to put in. You're not drilling things in and fixing things, so you could, well, that sounded nice, didn't it? So I'm not one for changing things like that. You could, as long as the hole for the tap is correct, you could swap it and you've got enough room. You could fit that in potentially, but not ideal. I think that's more of a camper build if you're going to build. Obviously the water tank, we went for a 500 litre water tank, which you're not going to put onto a caravan, so that's not really. 2 aqua rolls with a mains adapter if you've got it sighted, that does the same thing. And if you went for the Aldi Flow, that gives you constant hot water, so it gets around with the boiler heating up the hot water for the showers. So yeah, waffling on again, aren't I? This is a 2018 18995. I'm trying to fit as much as I can into this video, can you tell? And it's 1750 maximum, so another heavy van, but lovely, really nice condition. There is a little mark on the back corner which we've reflected in the price, and it's more or less just a cosmetic mark. Shall we have a look at it?
Yeah.
And it's got lovely pillows.
corner pillows.
Lovely pillows in that. I do like that.
They're nice.
So yeah, the pad. There's not really anything that you're going to do with the rail on that. We could potentially fill that and make that look a little bit better, and then probably have that filled in. But we have sort of priced that with that in mind. So that's a very, very well priced Swift Elegance 580. Aldi central heating, so if you've had problems with your Aldi central heating and you need to reset it, that's what we're going to look at next. So this is it is 2018. I was thinking on this that this had got an upgraded panel, but it's not. 2018 they did swap the Aldi central heating panel very, very slightly. Can you see that on the camera or?
Yeah.
No, yeah. So to reset the Aldi central heating, you basically go into your settings. So on the older panel you've got like a little cogwheel at the bottom here, but if we press menu on this one, on the newer type, and we go into reset, this will basically reset everything on the system. So we're going to do a factory reset, and that is going to reset your Aldi central heating. So if you've had any problems with, you've set timers, you've tried to sort of do any changes, and you're finding now that your Aldi central heating isn't working at all, that's basically how you do it. So that's the same on the older one. The older system had got a slightly different control look. So same panel, but in the bottom right hand corner, once you press the menu button, it got a little cog. So if you press that cog, go through the menu, and then you'll find the reset button. Press your reset button and that will just reset it, and that then, when you turn it back on, is back to factory settings. So you've got no timers, it's all just literally set back to as it should be. And again, sometimes on the old central heating or the old hot water, it would lock on to the hot water being on constantly, and you couldn't sort of turn the hot water on or off. The factory reset should be able to then, when you press your hot water button, you should be able to put it on and off, and not it just be sat in the middle setting constantly. So that's how you do it basically. Now the reason on the Lorry build that we didn't go for the Aldi central heating was that I'd gone for that diesel heater that we saw, and they work really, really well. It costs nothing to run those, and they get really, really warm and put out lots of heat. The other one then was that the cost of the Aldi central heating, for me to put Aldi central heating in, was going to be astronomical, so it was easier to put the diesel heater and the Truma water heater, and it takes about 15-20 minutes to reheat that hot water. So with our constant supply of water, basically, turn into Jason again, the hot water is good enough without going for the Aldi flow and all of that. So that was the reasons that I'd gone for those systems. That is about it for this week. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you've seen our little things that we fitted and agree that I think they work brilliantly for us. It might not work for everybody, but for us it was great. Don't forget, head over to the Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Obviously make sure you've subscribed on the YouTube channel. If you've not already, hit that subscribe button now, and then we'll see you next week. We'll see what's going on. I've got a feeling I've got some good ideas for next week's video, and I can't remember what they are right this second, so hopefully I'll remember for next week's video and we'll do that then. Thanks for watching. I'm Mark at the Caravan Place, and we'll see you then.